Hey everyone, I'm working to hit 1,000 subscribers, and I need your help to get there. If you enjoy this content, please hit that subscribe button right now.
Max Scherzer is back in Toronto. And look, I know what you're thinking. Why does this team need another starting pitcher? They've already got a rotation that's basically overflowing. But here's the thing, and this is what nobody's actually talking about. The real reason the Jays brought Scherzer back has very little to do with what he's going to do on the mound. And the moment I explain it, everything clicks. Everything makes sense. And honestly, it might be the smartest move Ross Atkins has ever made. But before we even get to that, can we just talk about this contract for a second? Because when the numbers dropped around 1 a.m. last night, I had to reread it like 3 times. $3 million in base salary. $3 million. With incentives that could push it to 13. That is it. That is the deal. For a 3-time Cy Young winner, for a future Hall of Famer, I've been saying for weeks I expected something in the 10 million range, and even then I thought that would have been a bargain. But 3 million? That's not a bargain, that's a robbery. That's the Jays walking out of the store with Max Scherzer tucked under their arm, and the alarm didn't even go off. And I want to give credit where it's due. Ross Atkins has been cooking this offseason. Genuinely cooking. Because a few weeks ago, fans were frustrated. Myself included, honestly. You miss out on certain guys. The offseason feels like it's drifting, and then all of a sudden the roster you're looking at right now has Gausman, Ciccia, Savage, Berrios, Pond, Lauer, Bieber, and now Scherzer. That is a completely different team than what we were looking at in November. And the value accumulated here is actually kind of insane when you step back and look at it. Now let's get into the real reason this happened, because this is the part that I think is getting lost in all the noise. Last night when the signing dropped, I saw a post on Reddit, just some random guy, and he said something that I thought was genuinely brilliant. He said even if his arm falls off, Max Scherzer is worth every single penny just for what he brings to the dugout. The pitching knowledge, the baseball IQ, the mentality. And that's exactly it. That is precisely why this deal got done. The Jays didn't sign Max Scherzer to go out there and throw 180 innings. They signed him because they have Trey Savage, who they're going to be carefully managing in terms of innings. They have Tiedemann coming back from injury. They have a pitching pipeline full of young arms like Johnny King and others who are close. And the idea of those guys being around Max Scherzer every single day, in the bullpen, in the dugout, in the film room, that is invaluable. You literally cannot put a price on that. And the Jays apparently know it because they got it for $3 million. Think about what Scherzer can pass on to Trey Savage alone. Savage is going to have his innings limited this year. That's already been discussed. And some fans online have pushed back on that. I get it. Savage is a beast. He's an absolute unit. But the Jays are being smart about this, and rightfully so. You protect that arm now, you get 10 years out of him later. And while he's going through that process of developing and being managed carefully, having a Hall of Famer in his ear every day is a resource that money can't really replace. Now, what does this mean for the rotation going forward? Because this is also a real conversation. Lauer's path just got cloudier. If he wants a guaranteed rotation spot, there are pitching-needy teams out there who would give him that. And I think there's a real chance we see movement there. The Jays clearly aren't afraid to add more arms than they need because they understand that depth isn't a problem, it's an asset. Bieber's timeline coming off the IL is still uncertain. Berrios, we don't fully know what version we're getting. Pond is unproven at this level. The only 2 guys you can really pencil in with confidence right now are Gausman and Cease. And Cease, even then, his ERA could go anywhere from 2 to 4, and I wouldn't blink. The one thing I keep coming back to is Scherzer choosing $3 million. He could have gone elsewhere. Teams would have paid him more just to be a glorified pitching coach. Forget about suiting up. He took $3 million to come back to Toronto. That tells you everything about how he feels about this organization in this city. He said it after the World Series. Unfinished business. And now he's back to finish it. Ross Atkins, genuinely round of applause. What a winner.